Welcome to Innovate and Conversate, where we discuss the latest innovations and trends in the business world. I'm your host, Jana, and today we're going to be talking about digital transformation, a topic that's often discussed but never truly felt. With me today is Mr. Ihab Ismail, and he's the CIO of C Holding. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Ihab.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here and happy to be here with you today.
So to start off, many think that digital transformation is just about adapting new technologies, but actually it's more than that. So how can businesses make sure that digital transformation is helping their employees and customers in the long run?
So I think the implementation of digital as a whole in any organization needs to have two success factors. One of them is alignment. The company needs to focus on where the company needs to be. It's not like we need to do digital because the world is doing it or because others are doing something like that. We need to really see what we need and we need to try to fix what we have. The second point is that the employees should also feel that change. We should not be focused purely on outside or outward services. We should also be focused on internal services as well. The way we do day-to-day work is what actually can make all the difference to the employees. If you're able to achieve that, then you can really truly become a digital organization.
So how can businesses make sure that digital transformation becomes part of their culture?
Well, that's exactly the point I was just making. I mean, the use and the embedding of these practices into the way the employees actually work is going to make a huge difference into the overall success of the organization. You and I, if we work in any company, we have to really see and exactly feel the same behavior that the others are actually seeing and experiencing. And the reason for that is because everybody in their own world, they have a huge exposure to digital experiences wherever you go. So if you were to book a ticket to a movie theater or to an airline, if you're traveling, if you're actually, even if you're doing the simplest transactions these days, everything has a digital end-to-end fulfillment aspect to it. So when we walk into our workplaces, that experience should not be different. And that's what we're trying to say here. I mean, the people here working, you and I, we should all feel that difference. If we're able to achieve that, there is a huge success possibility. The second point is that the decision-making process, I think, as part of digital is agility. The ability to adapt quickly to the situation is actually a huge factor into your success. If you have the ability to detect that your direction is not going to work, you really need to be pragmatic and you need to adopt change very quickly. Agility into decision-making and rectifying or fine-tuning your path can also give you a higher chances of success. And with these two factors, that will also enhance. That really can truly become a digital experience. In today's world, people have to feel it and they have to experience it, and it has to be a fine-tuned approach for every organization.
So AI is everywhere, but not really a lot of people understand how to use it. So what are some of the myths that people think about AI and how can they approach it the right way?
Well, that's AI. I mean, everywhere you turn to today, there is AI. I mean, even in our world, we are using AI without even realizing that we're using AI. However, when I come to embed AI into the way I work as an organization, I need to see exactly which AI components or which AI techniques or technologies I should be looking into. And the reason for that is that there is no one size that fits all. I mean, there are multiple technologies out there and there are different use cases. So the selection of a use case which actually helps you into improving the way you do your work, giving you higher efficiencies, fixing the way you conduct your business, reducing number of errors, improving your customer service, that use case selection is actually paramount to anything that you do. So that's the first thing that you need to look at. Use case selection, I think you have to look into considerations of financial implications to the company, customer service improvements that you can achieve, or even presence into the market, because the whole world is using and speaking about AI. But I think the presence point and the marketing element of using AI should be the least of your imperatives and your objectives. You should first look at how it can actually improve your bottom line or improve your ability to sell more, or your ability to operate in a much more efficient manner, or your ability to serve your customers in a much better way. The second aspect on AI is that you will have to try multiple times. you'll have to continuously try because AI will not deliver results from the very first attempt. The use of AI usually requires what we call machine learning, and that is one of the higher levels of maturity that you can achieve, and you can gather or get some value from the use of AI, and that happens over time. So you either need to build a history of transactions that you can expose to the AI agent, or you need to train that AI agent yourself. Either this or that. That process could actually take some time, and for you to achieve it and to perfect it and to get the right value of it is actually a time requiring process. Now there is another dimension to the use of AI in which people are becoming really apprehensive of it. So especially like different generations will actually react to this differently. Some people will actually embrace it, but others will be somehow worried or anxious from the use of AI. But what we should always remind ourselves is that AI should not be seen as a technology that replaces people, humans who are into the job. It should actually be seen as a technology that enhances and complements what we do. Rather than being stuck into the nitty-gritty details, AI can actually encompass all that work for you and give you a ready product and ready response. And that's what you're after. You're after the ready response. So what you should be training your employees and staff on as an organization and how to use AI going forward, because that's, I think, key to this future that we're looking into right now. We're looking into a future in which AI is going to be governing a lot of things that we do in a day-to-day business, whether it's business or whether it's leisure or whether it's his personal work at home. We should be able to use that, and we should be able to make the best of it.
So before a company starts using AI, what should they think about in order for it to fit its goals and objectives and really add value?
Thank you. This is a great question, actually. As I was saying, you need to pick and choose which AI components are actually highly relevant to you and to your operation. So it's not about like doing it there is no me too in the world of using and implementing AI. You have to really take a focused approach on what you have and what you need, and then try to implement it. As part of any AI, I was just speaking about your training of these AI agents, and which is goes into a huge component into the success of these agents. And how you do that, you need to also look, as part of doing that, you need to look at your readiness for this. And part of the readiness is your data, basically. Do you have access to the data? That's the first question. And the second point is that data readily available? Is it clean? Is it actually usable? Is it complete? Do you need, sometimes you actually can use AI to complement and to provide data where data is not available. So either this or that. Data assessment is a major step into your AI implementation journey, and you need to take that, embrace it, and then work through it. You need to work through the details because that will give you the best outcome. It would be really naive to start on a journey on AI without giving enough attention to the data readiness, because down the line, after having made huge investments into people, technology, and commitments to the company and expectations from your board and the senior team, you will find out that data is an obstacle. Data availability is an obstacle, or data completeness and accuracy is an obstacle. So it's very important that you give this some level of attention, because that will also help you achieve the expected outcome of that AI journey.
At Sea Holding, you're making smart building management a reality. Could you explain more about this project and how other companies can do something similar?
Well, the smart building, and now the building management system is a concept which has been there in existence for a while now. And now we're actually complementing that by calling it an intelligent smart building management system, or as you called it, a smart building management system. Whether you call it an IBMS or a smart BMS, it's the same. It's the same concept. And what actually makes all the difference is that while original and traditional building management systems were looking at basic inputs into its dashboards or the ability to visualize data, the smart building management systems, or the intelligent ones, actually go one step further by adding additional readers from the environment. And when we say readers, you can call them IoT devices or Internet of Things devices, or readers, just simple readers from the environment. And what these do is that the ability to extract and get additional data helps you in the final outcome. You think of it this way: if you have a car that can drive by itself, the more sensors you're able to add to the car, the more data, the more decision making becomes even better. So with the same under the same analogy, under an intelligent or a smart building management system, adding additional IoT devices, and I'll give you a few examples of what these could be, could actually make all the difference. So whether these are temperature gauges from the environment around the view, whether these are weather stations, inputs from weather stations which are measuring the weather and the way the weather is actually outside, whether it is actually the temperature of the pavement that you're walking onto, whether how hot is that, how is that a reflective surface or not, should you add some shading here and there and all of that. These are all factors that are best analyzed under an intelligent building management system. And the BMS, or an intelligent BMS, is not only a dashboard, it's not only a command and control center in the sense of things, but it also is sitting on a data structure. And that data structure is what we are commonly refer to these days as a data lake. So a data lake or a data structure sitting and feeding data into an intelligent building management system allows you to do two things. Allows you to see real time or near real time what's happening in the vicinity of your own community or your own zone or area in which you're looking at, and gives you the ability to do some trend analysis and understanding the different factors, how these different factors impact and or affect that ecosystem that you're looking into. So, you could actually say and think of, why don't I add a small fan with a misting fan, a fan that actually emits mists, and then see how that impacts the temperature along a walking path or a corridor in which people actually leisurely walk into in the afternoons or in the evenings. Especially in a country where the climate is hot. So it's important that you try to deploy sustainable practices which allows you to improve the overall situations, and make it more livable and habitable by everybody. So these are all factors that we're trying to introduce. We're also looking at how the buildings are actually structured with regard to the sun and the movement of the wind, the temperature, the ambient temperature. All these are factors that we look into, and we work through our partners and through our technology partners that we collaborate with for us to be able to achieve the bigger and the better outcome. There is no magical solution to these or a single version in which you can implement intelligent building management systems. It actually varies as per what each community wants to do, or what each community management or property manager needs to do. So either this or that. The use of technology you should be open to embed new readers or IoT devices, and we should be having the right analytical skills to be able to analyze all of that data. I think one of the things which I would also like to add here is that in today's world, the use of data analysis or people who are either data engineers or data scientists is something that you cannot live without. These skill sets have become extremely important to any modern day workforce, and especially on the technology side. I would highly encourage and ask people to actually look into that, because this is something you will need at some point in time. It's not only for visualizing what happened, but for analyzing what's happening and helping you taking matters one step further into what's going to happen, and even more better, what should we do when such practices happen. So this is how the world of analytics is actually going today, and it adds tremendous value to your building management capabilities, and that's why we call them intelligent building management solutions.
What steps can companies take to implement new solutions and tech in general?
I think implementing new technologies, you cannot boil the ocean. I think that goes without saying, and many people in my domain will also appreciate and understand this. You will have to start small. I think you have to see how success looks like. So it makes a huge sense from a financial point of view, from a effort phasing point of view as well. You need to do what we call in our industry, or refer to as a proof of concept or a POC. A POC is basically you're starting small, you're looking at a small scope, you're trying to make it work for that small scope. So once it's successful, then you have something that works, and that's you can call it a minimum viable product or an MVP, as people commonly refer to. But either this or that, an MVP or a common product helps you into selling the bigger idea as well. So it helps you as an individual, as an executive, into seeking more additional financial support because you have something that has worked, okay, and you have made it work, okay. So, and you did not risk huge company resources into making this work. You started small. You did not ask for people to commit large sums of money. It's a small amount, which has worked, and now it's fine. So the way you actually do it is through a small start, what we call baby steps initially, for you to be able to achieve success. And once you have done that, then that success will actually carry you into multiples of performance and success that you can do. So start small with any scope that you want to do, and engage your stakeholders early as possible. I mean, obviously, when you start small, you're starting with a small idea. So the selection of that idea should not be something that's left to me or an individual. It should be a group of people, and these should be informed people who are already on the job, people who are aware of what's happening. They should be the ones who are helping you to select the best use case to move forward with. And the selection of that use case can actually make all the difference. You cannot select something which is hard to do. You select something which is also easy to do. Simply, I mean, you are facing an equation where there are many odds of either success or failure. So you should try to structure it into your favor as much as possible by keeping it small and keeping it simple. Simplicity wins in everything that we try to do, and we should always stick to that. We should not try to overcomplicate any engagement or any project scope that we're attempting to do, especially if it's a new POC or a new idea that we're trying to introduce into the business or into the operation. So engagement, as I said, plus proof of concept, actually within a limited time frame. We should not leave that open-ended. It should be a limited time frame. So as with any other engagement, it should have a start and finish expected dates. However, even though the finish date, we should not be completely religious about it. We should allow some flexibility into it expanding, because that's innovative work. And when you come to innovation, you should not try to restrict it by actually forcing an end date to any engagement. You should allow some flexibility towards the end. The flexibility should be in the range of 20% maximum of the overall time frame that you have envisaged to begin with. And with the right engagement of the people, and we should be able to achieve a successful POC. The successful POC will take you places, will take you to getting additional board and shareholder approval. They will able to see a product that works, and you could actually put that product to work and see how it actually behaves in a real world environment. If you're able to do these things, then you will be breaking new grounds. And then once you do, then you should be able to carry on seamlessly and confidently into your next phases.
Thank you, Mr. Ihab, for today. This brings us to the end of our podcast. It's been a fascinating discussion.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here with you. And I will be happy to join you in any future podcast on any new trends. We should stay in touch, and I look forward to that.
For sure. Thank you. Thank you for our listeners for tuning in. We'd love to hear back from you on which topics you would like for us to discuss next. Until next time, stay innovative and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.